Hey folks, it's Jeremy with BDC Gun Room in Shawnee, Oklahoma. You know, here at BDC we believe that helping you find the right handgun is just the first step to making sure that you have the most rewarding firearms experience possible. And so today I want to talk a little bit about handgun grip. And because semi-automatic pistols are the most common handguns in use today, I'm going to be focusing specifically on that. But most of those techniques that I'm going to talk about will actually cross over and work for revolvers as well. So let's get started, shall we? Alright, this is a training pistol made of molded plastic. It's actually an exact replica of a Beretta Model 92. We use it for demonstration and all types of training. We'll be using it today to talk about some of that proper grip technique. You know, proper grip technique is extremely important when shooting a pistol. In terms of a semi-automatic pistol, it's extremely difficult to shoot it accurately and safely without a proper technique. You could actually cause your pistol to malfunction, cause injury to yourself or maybe others. But before I start to talk about that proper technique, I really need to talk about parts of the pistol, go over some nomenclature so that when I talk about something, we actually know what I'm talking about. So let's do that. This entire area where we grip a pistol, some people actually refer to as the grip, or perhaps the handle. But that becomes problematic when we start to talk about gripping a pistol or handling a firearm. So let's go ahead and refer to that entire portion of the gun as the stock. Now this portion of the stock where it begins to curve upward and outward, we refer to that as the tang. The bottom of the pistol, where the bottom of the magazine is located, we refer to as the butt of the stock. Now this curved portion here that encircles the trigger, we actually call the trigger guard. And so that should clear up some confusion as we start to talk about parts of the pistol and where to place your hands on it. To properly grip your pistol, place the pistol in your firing hand or dominant hand so that the webbing between your thumb and forefinger are seated firmly up against the tang of that pistol, and your index finger, your trigger finger, lies alongside the frame away from the trigger until you're indexed on your target and you're ready to fire. That middle finger of your firing hand should seat right up against that trigger guard with that tang of the pistol and firmly seated in the webbing of your hand, that index finger alongside. It creates this space here between these fingers and the meaty portion of your thumb and palm on your firing hand, and that space neatly fits the meaty portion of your thumb and palm on your non-firing hand, and that'll just fit right neatly in there in between your fingers and your palm. And those fingers on that non-firing hand, you want to just wrap those around that firing hand so that they mesh well together, and that index finger is also right up underneath that trigger guard. And your thumbs should lay just slightly up and forward, right alongside each other, just like this. This is correct. This is never correct on a semi-automatic pistol. This keeps you from operating the controls on your pistol. So just lying right alongside each other, that actually puts all of your hands, both hands, in contact with the pistol, giving you 360 degrees of control. Now when you're squeezing front to back with that firing hand and side to side like a vice with that non-firing hand, that gives you a good stable base. And having those thumbs go with that non-firing hand wrapped around the side there and those thumbs up and forward, you actually, it facilitates you locking your wrist forward in a good position so that it locks that pistol onto that stable base, and you can actually engage your arms as shock absorbers, help to control that recoil energy without your pistol snapping around like this. When you do that, it actually bleeds off some of that recoil energy and you can cause your gun to malfunction. So just to recap, firing hand firmly on the stock of that pistol with the tang of the pistol in that webbing between the thumb and the forefinger, middle finger up underneath the trigger guard, index finger or trigger finger along the side of the frame, indexed until you're ready to fire. Non-dominant hand, non-firing hand, wraps right around, just snugly around, meshes with those fingers, thumbs up and forward, lying alongside each other, lock those wrists, and that's a good stable platform for your pistol to work from. So remember, with a proper grip, firing hand wrapped, middle finger under the trigger guard, non-firing hand wrapped around that firing hand, thumbs locked up and forward, wrist lock,
combined with a good stance, good trigger control, and an accurate sight picture, can help you shoot accurately and safely. For more information or training, come see us at BDC Gun Room Indoor Shooting Range here in Shawnee, Oklahoma. We have several highly skilled and well-trained instructors on staff. We can do everything for you, from a little bit of instruction on the range to get you pointed in the right direction to some in-depth one-on-one instruction. We appreciate you watching, and stay tuned to our YouTube channel for our next instructional video. Short instructional video. Well-trained firearms instruction. Stay tuned. The right. And we're talking with your hands. Let's do it right. Handgun. And the